We can't possibly go on using that room for interviews. It's far too noisy with them digging up half the street outside," Larry Baxter told Alice without actually looking at her. "How about the old filing room?" Alice suggested. "What?" Larry snapped. "The old filing room at the end of the corridor? It's only got one old filing cabinet in it, and we don't really use it anymore. It's quiet in there, too, and has lots of natural light." Larry deigned to look at Alice for a moment, but didn't really appear to see her. "I'll have to think about it," he said at last, scratching his bald head. Alice shook her head. Ben Alexander had 3 interviewees arriving in less than an hour, and they had nowhere to put them. The least Larry could do was listen to her perfectly decent suggestion, or they'd end up interviewing the candidates in the canteen, which would probably flout the all-important health and safety regulations. Alice was just racking her brains for an alternative suggestion when Ben Alexander walked into the room. "Hello, Larry. Hello, Anna," he said, his all-encompassing gaze sweeping Alice oh so briefly. "All set for the interviews?" Larry cleared his throat. "I suggest we use the old filing room at the end of the corridor," he told Ben. "It's quiet and has lots of natural light." "Excellent idea," Ben said, clapping his hands together. "Yes, I thought so," Larry said. "Your boss is a miracle worker, isn't he, Anna?" Ben said. Alice turned round and rolled her eyes, returning to her desk where she found Larry's empty coffee cup waiting for somebody to wash it. She sighed, thinking to herself that her situation might be more bearable if she had somebody in the office she could talk to, but the only other woman who worked in her department was part-time. Her name was Pearl Jaggers, and she was about 120 years old and was only interested in small talk if it was about her 11 grandchildren. She wasn't sure how she managed to get through the next few weeks leading up to the holiday. She endured countless cold mornings at the bus stop, her neck retreating like a shy tortoise's into the woolly folds of her scarf. Bruce was his usual uncommunicative self and didn't even attempt to help when a speeding car splashed an icy puddle up her legs. Wilfred, the postman, was as grouchy as ever, complaining about the conditions postmen had to endure during the cold months, and then promptly sneezing on her, and, at work, Larry continued to ignore her, and Ben continued to call her Anna. Life was perfectly normal, if far from perfect. But finally, the great day arrived. Alice had spent the final 5 evenings before the holiday packing and unpacking. She just didn't know what to take. She'd looked up the temperatures in Kethos online and was assured that mid-April was mild but not hot. That meant you had to take absolutely everything: jeans and jumpers in case it was cool, and dresses and swimsuits in case it was warm. Not that Alice had much in the way of clothes. She wasn't the sort of woman who had an excess of anything, unlike her sister who had once bought a favourite dress in 3 different colours. Alice thought of her sister's heaving wardrobe and the number of clothes which had been flung over their father's old bed. She couldn't help thinking that something was wrong when a person had more shoes than books in their home. Which reminded her, which books was she going to take? She treated herself to a guidebook and a lovely paperback romance called Swimming with Dolphins, as well as a funny little hardback she'd found in her favourite second-hand bookshop in Norwich. The book was called Know Your Gods, and, as Alice didn't, she'd bought it. Their flight to Greece left shortly after 7, and Stella refused to drive to the airport so early in the morning and didn't want to pay the parking charges for the week either. "You can pay for a taxi,"